grave. Under neon lights we take a stand. Knights and wizards across the land.
Good morning, my intangible friends. It is Intangible Friday. It is Friday the 18th of April. Good Friday. It's 52 degrees and something outside. Haze, I guess. It's not quite foggy. It's not quite cloudy. It's not quite sunny. There's just sort of this weird haze. It's hard on the eyes, but it's weathery. And it looks like spring is definitely trying. Speaking of spring, it's time to spring into the tabletop role-playing game crowdfunding projects. See what I did there? That are coming to an end this week, but you are still lucky enough to possibly invest in. If it sounds like your cup of tea, let's take a look. Thank you, as always, to Ian World for making these available to us. All right, from Lone Colossus Games, we have Tomb of Intangible Treasures 2, A Hunter's Guide to Rituals. This is for Wizards of the Coast 2014 D20 and Wizards of the Coast 2024 D20, even though we know as of yesterday they are now, yes, officially two separate games because they've released not one but two conversion guides, and if I need two conversion guides, they're not a backwards compatible system. But how hard really is it to tinker with armor class hit points, and this is what the monster does. So this features 100 new monsters, and they're the best kinds of ones. The monsters you kill and harvest to get components from. How long is this going to be a thing? The monster hunting Delicious in Dungeon thing. You know, at first it was cool. Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix, if you haven't seen it, or Dungeon Menchie, is one of the best D&D cartoons out there. Blows Critical Role away. I'm sorry, Critical Role, but yeah, Delicious in Dungeon is just that much better of a cartoon. And Monster Hunter, of course, has also been a thing for a while now. I'm not quite sure how old the Monster Hunter franchise is, but yeah, it's been around, right? So the idea of kill the monster, take its stuff, harvest its body parts to make more stuff. Yeah, I mean, but sooner or later it's just going to get boring. And then it offers you bits and pieces of things that you can do with the body parts. And then we have this wizard who's just killed a worm, and he's cooking up something with the worm goo and just doing something. I don't know if I like the name Intangible Treasures. Unless, of course, the treasure is the information you get from slaughtering these creatures and taking their body parts, thus the rituals and rites. But intangible implies I can't touch it. Bum, 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 bum. Can't touch it. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, look at this magic sword. Oh, it's intangible. I can't touch it. Oh, look at these stack of $10,000. Nope, can't touch it. It's intangible. Yeah, but hey, I get a recipe on how to cook purple worm guts. Well, still. This is blah blah blah. This is $25 for the PDF version of the book plus VTT assets. From Kenzer and Company, we have Knights Under the Dinner Table, Codex of Many Tales. Wow, $100 is shipping and handling for the hardcover version of the book. It's probably more now because of tariffs. So this is a 25 issues of the wonderful Knights of the Dinner Table comic book. If you've never read Knights of the Dinner Table, I highly recommend it. It is truly a deep, deep dive into just the wonder of a group of people gaming together and just the stories and the adventures. And yeah, I highly recommend it. It's just funny and great. And so filled with memes. So it's 600 pages. $100 for the hardcover. Let's see if there's other versions of it available behind the hardcover. We've got a sample PDF for $5. We've got the $75. You get this PDF, which means you'd have to read it on a EPUB thingy. And then, of course, the 100 plus for the big thingy. Yeah, you can find issues and comics from Knights of the Dinner Table all over the interweb. So if you've never had a chance to check it out, Steve, move. Thank you. So the cat stole my chair. You can go for free and find a comic or two out there before you decide whether you want to back this or not. Yeah. From the World Anvil Publishing, we have Bitter Chalice, a map-based Souls-like tabletop role-playing game. $115 for the PDF and print version of the box and the books. Well, if it requires a whole bunch of parts, the PDF is kind of pointless, isn't it? Here's your PDF of a DM screen. I still got to print it out and make a DM. Here's your PDF of these markers, which I have to print out onto cardboard. Here's your PDF of dice, which I have to print out. And then, it's just. Anyways, you exist in a fallen city, overrun with despair and desperation. One that you can't escape, but you can take dangerous jobs to improve your life, giving the city campaign a new meaning, and the world is dark and deadly. Presented in a box set that includes the core Bitter Chalice rules, Dirge of the Dust King, an adventure, starter a campaign called Escape from the Mudfields. I guess the Mudfields are inside the city that I can't get out of. And it's based upon an original city system and setting powered by insatiable hunger, as opposed to powered by 20-siders or something. If you're a fan of Hollow Knight, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, and Elden Ring, this campaign may speak to you. So, spooky haunted city that you can't escape. Every adventure is in the city. And you need a whole bunch of props to run the game, which means even though they're charging you $115 now, this was probably listed before the whole tariff thing. So you might want to double check. And again, what would be the point of getting a PDF of something that requires this many gimmicks and gadgets and parts? Because I'd still have to go and get the cardboard stock, print it out, and put it together to make it the equivalent of just buying the hardback, and then I end up pretty much spending what I would have spent anyways. So if I was going to get it, I'll just get the hardback. From DM Dave Publishing, we have the Broadsword's Guide to the Negative Energy Play for whatever. It's $25 for 5 PDFs. 190-page book details the most horrible and anti-life place in all existence, the negative energy plane. A world so deadly that the adventures in the book starts at characters at 11th level and runs through 16th level. This one brings back old classic monsters and brings back the rules for level drain, which I think they've removed from whatchamacallit, D&D, right? Monsters don't do level drain right now. They just do disadvantage. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with, instead of level drain, just hitting them with dots and disadvantage. Because level drain always required math. And it always, you had to figure out the math. And inevitably, every game that I played in where we were dealing with monsters that did level drain and somebody got level drain, we had to stop to figure out the new math. Usually it was just home ruled that it did something else, the equivalent. So, it gave you minuses to hit or sucked a certain amount of hit points. So you didn't have to stop and figure out the math and go, okay, so I just lost 2 levels. So I had 40 hit points, but now I'm down to level 5. And so that means I lose this and I lose. Oh, wait. Okay. But then I have to recalculate this. Oh, my saving throws changed. Okay. This is based upon a formula based upon my level. But then, I'm sorry. But then what 5th edition went and said, you know what? Screw all that math. It slows things down. Bam. Disadvantage. Bam. Movement rate cut in half. Bam. You lose half your hit points. Don't worry about it. So I don't have a problem with losing level drain or stat drain as long as it was replaced with something that was equally devastating. But these guys want to bring it back, so that's good. Now, why is it 5 PDFs? Why not just 1 PDF for $25 filled with the 5 pages worth of things? I don't know. I mean, most people will I guess print it out that way. Whatever. From Wormwood Publishing, we have Free 5e, a free open source Dungeons and Dragons alternative. This just got a little bit of negative reactions to it because it claims it's one thing, but then when you go through it, you realize it's not the thing that it claims to be. And I think somebody else was going to cover this already. Anyways, it claims it's free. Why would I need to kickstart something that's free? Want the Creative Commons versions of the 3.5e core rulebooks as PDF and print-on-demand versions. The idea is to make clean, cheap, fully compatible versions of the 5e rulebook for fans looking for the rules but don't want to spend a lot of money. Available as dyslexia-friendly PDFs, EPUBs, digital braille, audio markdown, and plain text with CVS tables and docs versions. Okay, I will give them this. These are all things Wizards of the Coast hasn't done yet. Digital braille. Wizards of the Coast has not released a braille version of the Player's Handbook. Audiobook version of the Player's Handbook for people who are, have hearing issues. Nope. Plain text with CVS tables for dyslexic people like myself. Nope. Yeah. And the PDFs are free on drive-thru. And I know there was some negative mumbo jumbo associated with these guys, but they win me over for releasing digital braille, audio, plain text with CVS tables, and docs versions for people who are, learning disabled, special needs. So yeah, way to be inclusive. Way to make a braille version, because the Wizards hasn't done that. The company that claims to be super inclusive hasn't released versions of the Player's Handbook for visually or hearing impaired or dyslexic. From Ludospheric, 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 we have Lumerian Chronicles Volume 1. This is the source book. It's $50. Shipping and handling for the PDF and print versions of the books, GM screen and map. How much just for the PDF? If you just want the PDF, it's £15. Considering, again, the thing, tariffs, you probably have to just want to go with that version. Designed for barbarians of Lumeria, this setting is a post-apocalyptic sword and sorcery world set thousands of years in the future, so Thundar the Barbarian. This source book is 136 pages of background information, some adventures, regions to play around in, a calendar, that's something you don't see once, GM screen and a map. It runs on the 2D6 Vision engine. I don't know who these dudes are, but they're pretty cool. Looks like somebody photoshopped a picture on top of another picture or this is really, really bad AI, or because here's a dude, I don't know if you can, here's a dude's legs, here's a dude's hand, here's a dude's lower chest, and then the rest of the dude vanishes into the word Chronicles. And then we have this person on this side of the dungeon entrance and this person on this side of the dungeon entrance, even though the dungeon entrance is right here. Why wouldn't they just be, oh, look at the dungeon from over here, Bill. I see it, Susan. That dungeon looks really great from over here. Are we going to go and actually go in the dungeon? No, we're just going to stand here looking all awesome. Okay, Bill. Whatever you say, Susan. But these little weird dudes are cool. I like this. Yeah, who is this guy? He's pretty cool looking. And that's it. So we got Lumeria Chronicles, the first supplement for Barbarians of Lumeria. If you're looking for some Thundar the Barbarian quasi type post-apocalyptic magic tech future, we got this with these weird looking dudes. We got free 5e, which I remember we were upset at, but I will forgive them for whatever they're upset at for making this available like this. So yeah, you win my whatever. We've got this negative plane thing for $25. Seems reasonable. Yeah. I think it's going to cost more than what it says now because of the tariffs, but the comic is just so good. And then this weird thing. Don't know how I feel about that one, but I don't know. It could be something interesting to explore. Anyways, yes, my two recommendations are the Knights of the Dinner Table And I guess I'm recommending this simply because the fact that they did this and Wizards of the Coast didn't. So that's all your crowdfunding nonsense for this week. If any of those sound like something you want to pick up, I'll post the links down below for the ones I think are worth your time and money. You can always find these links on EN World, or just simply head on over to Kickstarter, Crowdfunder, Itch.io, backer site of choice, and check out what's there and what kind of offers they're answering. But then also check when the the program was started, because if it was started before the whole tariff thingy, prices may change and they may not have been modified based upon the new tariffs. So you might want to go and look at the frequently asked questions sections, which most Kickstarters have, because hopefully they've had enough time to start addressing how the tariffs will affect them. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. If you appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you never want to hear me talk about it ever again, let me know. Till next time, see ya.
Roll the dice and ride the wave. Quest and dragons, the news we crave. Under neon lights we take a stand. Knights and wizards across the land.